Hello, I'm Serena and welcome to this week's floor-based slow flow. This practice is all about connecting to sensation in the body to help quiet your mind and feel more connected. We're going to begin in child's pose, which is a great starting point for today's class because it takes you out of performance mode. It's very grounded and supported with nothing to achieve. So you can take your knees about mat width apart, bring your big toes to touch, send your hips back to your heels. You can spider crawl your fingers towards the top of the mat so the arms stretch out, and then lay your forehead to the mat between your arms. Take a moment to adjust if you need so your pose feels supported rather than forced. And now let yourself arrive. Notice the weight of your shins and tops of your feet and how they connect to the floor underneath you. The heaviness of your hips resting back towards your heels. Let your forehead soften down, noticing the pressure there, which can be really grounding for the nervous system. You may even notice your breath naturally deepens in this shape without you even needing to try to control it. Use this time at the start to tune into sensation. That will be the guiding theme for this practice, noticing sensation rather than shape. Aiming for quality in your poses rather than forcing depth. It's less about opening your body and more about opening your awareness. Take one more long, steady inhale through your nose, and an exhale sighing out through the mouth. From here, we'll begin to move slowly. Keep your hips heavy to your heels, lift your forehead up, and walk both of your hands over towards the right side of your mat. You may place your hands side by side, or you can place your left palm on top of the right hand. Bow your head down between your arms and notice the sensation running down the sides of your waist. It can be a subtle but delicious shift when we walk the hands to the side like this. I also enjoy gently rocking the shoulders side to side, so rolling the right armpit down, and then the left, to create this slow shifting of sensation across the chest, armpits, and upper back. So whether you're in movement or stillness, notice what you feel now. If the sensation is sharp or dull, spacious or tight. Notice too how your breath affects the shape. On your inhales, imagine the breath inflating the spaces between your ribs on the left side, stretching out your intercostal muscles, which can help to deepen respiration. Stay low, but lift your forehead back up so you've got the space to walk your hands through center, and then walk them all the way over to the left side of your mat. Again, you can place your right hand on top of the left. Keep your elbows lifted, reach your right hip back to your right heel, and bow your forehead down. You may choose once more to rest in stillness or find that gentle rolling of the shoulders to the right and to the left, shifting the sensation that you feel across the upper body as you continue to press the hips back to your heels. You want to feel supported again. Know that you don't need to push to your absolute edge today. Just let it be enough to feel. Notice if there's an impulse to push yourself further, to force deeper, to make it count. You don't need to manufacture intensity in your practice. Your nervous system learns safety through experiences like this when you stay present without overwhelming yourself. Gently walk your hands back to the top of your mat and lift your elbows but keep your palms grounded. Slowly tuck your chin to your chest, and you're going to take this big rounded shape as you lift your hips off your heels. Come forward, tip your tail up and find an arched shape through the spine as you settle your hips back to your heels and return to child's pose. Again, tucking your chin round through the spine as you come forward. Once your shoulders align over your wrists, arch your back and pull your hips back to your heels. You can gaze forward and drop your forehead at the very end. With your chin tucked round forward, pull the chest through at the top, lift your tailbone, drop the belly down, and then melt your hips back to your heels, returning to child's pose, bowing your forehead to the mat. Exhaling, round it all the way forward. Arch your back, find this cow shape through the upper body, and melt your hips back to your heels. Continue through a few more times, really noticing sensation across the shoulders, upper back, hips, and even the thighs and knees. Next time that you come up to hands and knees, find a neutral spine and just organize your knees underneath your hips, your hands underneath your shoulders, tabletop position. Extend your right leg back, parallel to the floor, flex your foot, and begin to draw slow circles with the right ankle, noticing sensation through the ankle joint, the arch of the foot, maybe even the spaces between your toes. Pause with your foot flexed, cross it to the back left corner of your mat, slide your right toes out until you start to feel a stretch in the left hip. You can untuck your left toes and lower your right knee to the floor, and then walk your hands out a little bit further, allowing for your elbows to meet the ground if there's space. You could bring your forehead down as well. If it feels more supported to stay up on your hands, of course you can stay up there. If you're a regular yogi, you may have noticed we have the tendency to strongly associate certain muscles with certain poses. When you think of a half split, for example, you think about the hamstring stretch. You may be so familiar with it that you can literally imagine that sensation in your mind. It's the same with pigeon. A lot of us associate pigeon with a big stretch in the outer hip, and this pose we're in right now allows the same muscles to stretch as you'd target in pigeon pose. Bring your awareness there and see if you can create a similar sensation to what you'd find in pigeon. To come out, lift your forehead, slide your right foot in, return to three-legged tabletop, floating your right foot up off the floor, and slowly sweeping it all the way over to the right side. Drop your foot down so that your right heel is in line with your left knee. As you inhale, reach your left arm up towards the sky, turning away from the right leg. As you exhale, turn towards it, thread your left arm underneath the right, and lay your left shoulder inside of your head down to the floor. It might feel more stable to keep your right hand on the mat in front of your face. If you'd prefer, you can take a half bind, circling the right arm around behind your back, turning your palm to face away as you reach your right fingertips for your left hip crease. Keeping your head down on the floor, you may also deepen the twist through the spine by turning your gaze a little more up towards the ceiling. If it feels like you're cranking your neck, you can keep your gaze straight out towards the side beyond your right toes. Notice if you're clenching through the jaw or gripping in the shoulders or even the fingers or the toes. And try to invite some softness there. Even if you don't soften all the way, you can relax a little bit more. I do apologize for the rubberneckers in the background. I filmed this at my studio in Bali, and as you probably know, it's quite a touristy place, so people walk past the window sometimes when I'm filming. I guess this group was curious about yoga, so hopefully they'll come for a class tomorrow. Alright, you can unwind your right arm if you took your half bind. Take it to the top of your mat so your right arm is straight with your palm facing down, and you can use it for support so that you can retract your right knee, bending it and placing it on the mat underneath your right hip. Then unwind your left arm and reach your left hand to the top of the mat, dropping your chest all the way down to come into puppy pose or heart melting pose. You can rest your forehead or your chin on the mat. Imagine you're trying to turn your armpits in toward each other. This will cause your shoulder blades to spread wider apart across your back and may change how and where you feel things happening in this pose, without changing much how it looks from the outside. That's one of the things about sensation-focused practice that I love. Sometimes the subtle cues, the things that don't make a big difference visually, create the biggest shift in sensation. We're going to really articulate through the spine for this next transition, so lift your forehead up, then tuck your chin to your chest, tuck your tail under, and slowly round forward, allowing your thighs, hips, and belly button to come down to the mat. At the top, pull your chest forward and lift your gaze so your chin is parallel to the floor. Untuck your toes and gently firm the tops of your feet down into the mat. With your elbows in line directly underneath your shoulders, keep your chest lifted. As you exhale, tuck your chin to your chest. Look down towards the space between your forearms. As you inhale, like you're carving a straight line with your nose, take your gaze up towards the ceiling, allowing your head to drop back. Exhale again, carve that straight line with your nose to bring it down, drawing your chin towards the space at the center of your collarbones. Inhale, feel your collarbones grow broader as you take your gaze back up to the sky. One more time, nice and slow. The slower you go, the more you feel. This time, as you lift your chin, press down through the hands to lift your elbows up off the mat for seal pose. As you lower back down, bend the elbows and scoop them off to the side so you can bring your chest down. Place your left palm to face down, rest your forehead there. Then bend your right knee, pointing your toes, and grab onto the outside edge of your right foot with your right hand. Keep your forehead relaxed down as you bend your right elbow and use the strength of your arm to draw the right heel closer to your right glute. Here's another one of those subtle cues for you that won't make a big visual difference but will really change how and where you feel this. Imagine you're pressing your pubic bone down into the mat, really trying to flatten it to the floor. This action creates a slight posterior tilt of your pelvis, which allows for your quad muscle to lengthen more, so you may start to feel a little bit more sensation and intensity in the front of your right thigh. Let go of your right foot, but keep your right knee bent. Put your right hand on the floor underneath your right shoulder with the elbow sticking up. Reach your left arm out to the side, palm facing down. You can look to the right, pressing down through your right hand to roll onto your left side. Place your right foot on the mat behind your left leg. This scorpion stretch can be a little intense sometimes, so if the stretch feels sharp and spiky, back off a little. If it feels a bit dull, you might roll further to your left, but be receptive without being aggressive. Allow yourself to relax under the weight of gravity. In this kind of passive stretch, you want to let gravity do more than your muscles. Inhale and feel your collarbones widen. Exhale and soften through your sternum. Let's release this pose. Roll back onto your belly. Keep your right knee bent. Place your left hand underneath your left shoulder so both elbows are sticking up like grasshopper wings. Peel your chest up off the mat. We're going to start to roll to the left again, allowing your glutes to come to the mat. Your left leg should end up straight and your right foot planted on the floor. Rotate your torso to the right so you can take your left arm to wrap around your right knee and your right hand as a kickstand behind you. Stay heavy through the back of your left leg and your left glute and lift up through the top of your head, creating a kind of spaciousness through the spine that will allow you to rotate a little deeper into your twist. Unwind, turning your chest to face towards your left leg. Pick up your right foot, place it to the outside of your left knee, and then heel toe it a little bit wider so that your right knee stacks on top of the left. Sit up tall on the inhale, pick up your hands and reach them up towards the sky. As you exhale, reach your arms forward and slowly start to lower down. Let your hands land somewhere comfortable, on the floor or on your shins. Pause when you meet sensation. Notice where it shows up. And before you try to force any more depth, ask yourself, is this enough right here? You don't have to go all the way down. Sometimes the most honest version of a pose is actually better for your body. And as we hold with time and with the breath, your body will naturally fold a little deeper into the shape. But it's more like melting and less like reaching. Walk your hands in and come up. Keep your right leg as it is. Bend your left knee and bring your heel outside of your right glute. You may be able to stack your knees, but if there is space between your knees, allow for there to be space. Adjust your feet so they're comfortably wide, a little breathing room between heel and hip on either side. Let your weight settle in your sits bones, then sit up tall. Extend your right arm up to the sky, bend your elbow beside your head, and bring your right hand between your shoulder blades. Reach your left arm up, cup your right elbow, and see if you can draw the elbow a little closer to the side of your head as you lean your head back into the right forearm to open the chest. If you feel like you've got a little more space, rather than cupping the elbow, you can circle the left arm behind your back. With your palm facing away from your back, you can find a bind of the hands. Imagine drawing your right elbow up and your left elbow down, again gently lifting the chest and staying super heavy through the sits bones. Let your ribcage stay soft instead of flaring forward. With your mind, can you stay connected to sensation, deliberately keeping your mind focused on what's happening in your body rather than letting it drift elsewhere? So much is happening in this shape, so stay with it for one more inhale. As you exhale, gently release your bind. Take both of your hands outside of your left thigh, and we're going to unwind so your feet will stay about mat width apart. As the knees uncross, you can drop down into a deep squat with your toes turned out. Lift your chest up, make sure your arms are inside of your legs. Imagine a heaviness to your arms so the shoulders drop down away from the ears. And then you can cup opposite elbows like you're cradling a baby, press down through your heels, dive your chest down, allow your head to hang as you lift your hips up into this semi-wide-legged forward fold. Turn your toes in so your feet are parallel. Bend your knees as much as you need to allow your chest to truly drape down, no effort in the upper body. Imagine like your elbows are the heaviest part of your body, just weighing you down towards the mat as you take a little sway side to side. Release your grip on your elbows, placing your hands onto the floor. Walk them forward a couple of handprints, and walk your feet back until you reach a point where you can gently bend your knees and lower them down to the mat for tabletop. A slight squeeze of the core to prevent your ribs from dropping down towards the floor. Inhale to extend your left leg, foot flexed to start. Slowly circle out your left ankle, allowing any pops and cracks to naturally come out. Now flexing your foot, cross it over to the back right corner of your mat. Tuck your toes under. You may come off the mat for this one and start to slide your foot out. When you can't go any further, drop your left knee down. Crawl your hands forward, extending through the upper body, and allow yourself to melt down in a way that feels comfortable. Not really a traditional yoga shape, but like I explained on the other side, similar sensation to pigeon. You're lengthening out the muscles on the outside of your right hip, so bring your awareness there. And use that awareness of sensation to anchor you to this present moment. That's the magic of a practice like this, becoming so aware of sensation in your body that you're able to turn off the sometimes unhelpful dialogue of the mind. Staying present with sensation, staying present with your breath, allowing you to turn down the volume on everything else. Grip through your hands so you can pull yourself through your three-legged tabletop, your left leg still hovering. Sweep your left foot out to the side and place it down so your left leg is straight, hands underneath your shoulders. As you inhale, sweep your right arm up towards the sky, turning your chest right. Exhale, thread your right arm underneath the left, dropping your right shoulder and the side of your head down to the floor. As your chest rolls open to the left edge of your mat, you can take your left arm behind your back, turning the palm to face away from you as you reach left fingertips towards right hip crease. As you hold, get rid of any desire to fix or force. Twists work best when you're patient. Notice the contact of your shoulder with the floor, the weight of your head, the gentle rotation in your upper back. Let your breath move into the back of your body, especially to the space between your shoulder blades. Inhale and feel your upper back widen. Exhale and feel your spine gently rotate deeper into the twist. Now unwind your left arm, reach it to the top of your mat, palm faces down. We're going to bring the left knee back in line underneath the left hip so both knees are grounded, and then unwind the right arm, reaching it towards the top of your mat to find your puppy pose for the second time. If you need to, readjust your knees, wiggling them slightly forward or back so that they line up directly underneath your hips. Your knees should be bent at about a 90-degree angle. This time, bring your palms together like a prayer position and then bend your elbows but keep them down on the floor so your thumbs will come to hover or gently rest against the back of your skull or the nape of your neck. This will bring more of a stretch into your triceps, the back of the upper arms. If it feels a little too intense for you today, you can keep your palms facing down and just hold your regular puppy pose. If you took the prayer position variation, return your palms to the mat facing down, lift your forehead up, tuck your chin, and one more time we're going to roll the spine forward, gently uncurling your chest at the top so the shoulders come down away from your ears and you gaze to the front. Untuck your toes, firm the tops of your feet into the mat. As you exhale, begin to rotate your head to the right, looking back over your right shoulder towards your heel. Inhale to come back through center. Exhale, look back towards your left heel. Inhale, come back through center. Go a few more times here. Make this rotation of the neck as smooth as possible. Notice if there are any sticky points, and try not to rush through the parts that feel the most challenging. Slow things down, allow your body to work through the tension, and support yourself by breathing deeply. Return your gaze to the front of your mat on your next inhale. Exhale to press down through the palms, lift the elbows. Scoop your elbows off to the sides, lower your chest down to the floor, and relax your forehead on top of your right hand. Bend your left knee, point your toes, with your left arm reach back and grab your left foot from the outside. Bend your elbow to draw your heel in closer to your glute, and press your pubic bone down into the floor, so again you'll feel that stretch intensify in the left quad. Find just enough intensity to feel without bracing. Sometimes we tell ourselves more intensity equals more benefit, but your nervous system responds best when it feels safe. Let your inhale anchor your lower belly and your hips to the floor. Let your exhale soften your left thigh. Release your grip, but keep your left knee bent. Place your left palm on the mat under your left shoulder. Reach your right arm out to the side with your palm facing down. Turn your head to look left. Press down through your left hand to roll onto your right side and step your left foot behind the right leg. Gently inviting space into your right chest and shoulder. You may even feel this down through your bicep. Surrender under the weight of gravity and to the rhythm of your breath. Inhale, collarbones widen. Exhale, soften through your sternum. You can roll back onto your belly. We'll keep the left knee bent for just a little bit longer. Place both of your hands underneath your shoulders like cobra, and then peel your chin and chest up off the mat. Roll to your right again so that you can step your left foot down and lower both of your sits bones to the floor, finding this seated position. Twist to your left, wrapping your right arm around your left knee, taking your left hand down behind you. You can turn and gaze over the left shoulder. Imagine you're rotating your left upper arm bone towards the back of your mat. Maybe this helps you to peel your chest open to the left a little bit more. Gently unwind, turning your chest to face forward, and let's find that half shoelace position in the legs. Take your left foot outside of your right knee, crisscrossing the knees. The outer edge of your left foot is on the floor and the knees are more or less stacked. Inhale to reach up, get tall through the spine. As you exhale, tilt your pelvis forward and fold down, letting your hands rest where they land. Heavy your head forward and let your spine soften and gently round. We'll hold for about 5 breaths here, so let yourself gradually melt into the pose. It's not about getting closer to your leg, it's about staying in tune with the sensation. Lift your chest and head back up. Walk your hands in. Keep your left leg crossed over and bend your right knee, your bottom knee, so that your heel lands just outside of your left hip. Knees may or may not stack. Find a comfortable distance for the feet. As you inhale, sit up tall, press your sits bones down. Keeping a long spine, extend your left arm up to the sky. Bend your elbow close to the side of your head and place your left palm between your shoulder blades. Right hand comes up first to cup the left elbow. Just see how this feels. If you're rounding forward, lift your chin, open your heart, but draw your ribs down. If the sensation here is enough, simply stay. If you want to take that bind, release your right hand from your left elbow. Sweep the right arm around behind your back. Your palm will face out this time so that you can hook your fingers together. Draw your left elbow up, draw your right elbow down, almost like you're pulling your elbows apart in opposite directions to create more opening across your chest. A lot of us, myself included, clench the jaw in this pose. So check in there, release if you need to. So there's a little space between your top and bottom sets of teeth. Let your tongue rest in the back of your mouth. Take another deep inhale, filling up your lungs all the way, breathing in with purpose, with intention. As you exhale, unwind from your bind, move both hands to the outside of your right hip, and tucking your toes under so you can pivot around to this malasana. Drop your hips down, toes are turned out, arms inside of your legs. Again, imagining your arms are the heaviest part of your body, you can take hold of opposite elbows. And then as you lift your hips up, allow your upper body to hang down so the elbows draw down to hover above the mat. Let your head hang heavy as well to release the back of the neck. Turn your toes in so your feet are parallel. Bend your knees as much as you need. Rock side to side. You can release your grip on your elbows. Walk your hands forward a few inches, walk your feet back a few inches. Again, we'll lower the knees down to the mat. Knees and feet can be about hip width apart. This time we'll keep the toes tucked under, and taking this into a stretch for the feet, settle your hips to your heels, walk your hands in towards you, and if you have more space, bring them up onto your thighs as you stack your shoulders over your hips and sit up tall, so you're distributing the weight down through the arches of your feet. Inhale to circle your arms out to the side, up and overhead. Cross your right wrist in front of your left. Turn your palms in and interlace your fingers so your wrists are crossed. Imagine you're really trying to lengthen your knuckles up towards the ceiling so your arms are straight with your biceps rolling in towards your ears. So this feeling of lifting up through the arms and lengthening out through the sides of the waist can help the stretch in the soles of the feet feel a little bit less intense. Imagine you're lifting up so tall that you could almost hover your hips off your heels. Release the bind in your hands. As you exhale, float your arms down by your sides. Inhale to reach them up again. We'll do the other side. Cross your left wrist in front of your right. Turn your palms in, interlace your fingers. Pull the knuckles up, up, up so you create this feeling of lengthening up through the spine. And as we hold longer this position in the feet, you may start to feel the sensation building through the arches of the feet, the backs of the heels, the spaces between your toes. Can you stay with that sensation and use your breath to navigate any discomfort? Release your bind, and we're finally going to come off the toes. So you can walk your hands forward. Once your hands are on the mat, untuck your toes and tap, tap, tap the tops of your feet to the floor a few times. Let it go. Let's crawl the knees forward so they're in line right behind your wrists. Turn your toes out just slightly, and you may use your hands to move the meaty part of your calves out of the way so you can lower your hips to the floor in between your heels. Lots of intensity on the knees here, so you have the option to stay up here. If your hips are comfortably touching the ground, you can bring your hands to your feet, thumbs on the inside, lean back and lower yourself down to your elbows. Again, option to stay or take it down all the way so that your upper back is down on the floor. Keep your knees grounded, make sure they're not lifting up off the mat. And if you'd still like more, now you can reach your arms overhead and back behind you. Let your feet be relaxed, not letting your ankles cave inward. Now bring your attention to your hips. Instead of pushing your hips up, see what happens if you let your sacrum be heavy. Take a slow inhale and feel your breath move into your belly, the front of your hips, maybe even into the top of your thighs. Exhale and imagine your quads melting down the length of your femur bones. If you're all the way down on your back, take care coming out. Bring your hands back to your feet and prop yourself up to your elbows. When you're ready, you can come up to your hands. Pause for a moment at the top to bring your spine into neutral. And then lift your hips, move your feet over to one side. Bring yourself back to a seat, planting your feet on the floor in front of you. You can hug your arms around your legs and allow your forehead to drop down to the space between your knees. Just a gentle rounding of your spine after the slight back bend in our reclined heroes pose that we just took. Feel your spine lengthen out. Breathe into the back of your ribs and lungs. Now lift up your head. You can release your arms from your legs. Gently roll yourself down to your back. You can hold onto your thighs to help control this roll down. Back of your head to the floor, pick up your feet, hug your knees in towards your chest. Firm your lower back down into the mat as you squeeze your knees in. You may take a gentle rock side to side and really be present with the sensation of your weight shifting from the lower right side of your back over to the left. Feel the edges of the movement, the subtle shifts that happen through the whole body as you rock. When you've had enough, release to your final Shavasana. Arms down by your sides, straighten your legs out along the mat. Let your palms turn up towards the sky, let your toes roll open to the sides. Close your eyes down, soften the skin of your eyelids. Let all of the effort drain out of your body. Feel the full length of your body against the floor. Let your breath return to its natural rhythm. No shaping it, no deepening it, just receiving it. You've spent this practice noticing sensation. Now notice the absence of effort. Notice the subtle hum in the hips, the warmth in the thighs, the echo of movement in your joints. The aftermath of your practice, of taking this time to move without checking out, of taking this time to feel something. Stay as long as you'd like. I'll leave you here for now. Thank you so much for joining me. Take good care of yourself, and I'll see you again next week. Namaste.